what's good, everybody? Today's episode is brought to you by Get Upside, where you get paid to do something you're going to do anyway, and that's just fill up your gas tank. The process is very simple. Just download the app, open it up, find the cheapest gas near you, pump your gas, upload the receipt, and you'll get paid within 2 to 3 business days. Once you have the money in your account, you'll be able to cash out for Amazon gift cards, Lowe's gift cards, Nike gift cards, Target gift cards, Walmart gift cards, PayPal gift cards, and a host of restaurants. Oh, and did I mention the app is free? Yeah, free 99. Join using my link and you'll get an extra 15 cents per gallon cash back. The link is in the description box. Thanks for watching. Keep pounding.
What's up? This is Derek Brown of the Carolina Panthers. Shout out to Rashad and David of the Panther Nation podcast. The voice of the Panther Nation. Make sure y'all like them and subscribe. Keep pounding.
Yo, this is Panther legend Jonathan Stewart, and I just wanted to shout out to Rashad Beard and David Rhodes of Panther Nation podcast. The voice of the Panther Nation. Keep pounding.
You are now tuned into the Panther Nation podcast.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flag down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
Seal, able to drive. He's intercepted by Keithley. Keithley inside the 20 to the 10 and to the end zone for another Panthers.
Welcome to the Panther Nation podcast. And here are your hosts, Rashad Beard and David Rhodes.
Yo, what's good, people? What's poppin'? Football is gonna be back. Dave, what's good with your broski? Everybody straight in these streets? What's good?
What's going on, man? I'm in the middle of a draft right now.
Dave ain't focused. I'm
always focused. I got my McCaffrey jersey, a player that I won't be able to draft this year. You know, I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, man. What's good? No, this is not a Cam jersey. This is a Robbie Anderson jersey, number 11. Shout out to Robbie Anderson. Definitely wouldn't don the Cam jersey right now. Shout out to Cam, starting quarterback. Shout out to you, Dave. You called it. My bad, Cam. My bad. Hey, look, I'll call myself out.
Said Cam was one of the hardest players they ever worked with, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Cam for going and grab that starting position. My bad, Cam. My bad for disrespect, dog. My bad.
You disrespected the hell out of him.
I did. My bad. Hey, it is what it is.
Right,
anyway,
John Fox.
I know, right? All right, we got a lot to get to because we got to go through this roster. We got the fantasy draft. It's a lot going on. So before we get into that, let's how was your weekend, Dave? Everything good?
Man. I keep buying stuff.
Yeah, you gotta chill, dog.
I took the Osmo Action back, and I grabbed me a mirrorless camera. I gotta quit wilding. Yeah, it's right behind me.
What'd you get?
I got a Sony A6400.
That's nice. Good choice.
Yeah.
You should have hit me up, man. I just went through that debate. I got the Canon M6 Mark II.
Oh, okay.
So it's very. I think they're like rivals.
They're close.
Yeah, they're very close.
Like the reason why I went with the Sony is because it looks like there's a lot more adapters out there. So
yeah,
I can,
that's true.
Throw the other joints on there if I need to.
Good choice. You should hit me on that though. I just went through that whole read. You should have hit me on that.
Yeah, I should have, man. Like I knew I wanted to go with Sony. It was just a matter of which level. Because the A6000 was intriguing, but it didn't have 4K.
Yeah, 4K.
But it was so much cheaper.
Yeah, it is.
So much cheaper. But nah, is your joint full frame or APS-C?
It's I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think it's full. I don't think it's full frame though. I don't think it's full. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's APS-C then. You know, when Candace starts mentioning other people's names and shit, it tends to be at least APS-C.
Yeah. I don't recall. Off the top of my head. But anyway, my weekend was great. I celebrated my 11th wedding anniversary with my wife. No kids. Took the kids to the grandparents' house. Me and my wife chilled uptown Charlotte. Took the drone with me. Got some nice drone footage of the stadium, which I got to incorporate that into the intro somehow. I was working on that before. but I ran out of time. But I ran into, actually, funny, while I was down there, I ran into Trey Boston. I was filming the tunnel, the tunnel where the Keep Pounding is, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they were driving through the tunnle, and I saw him driving through. I didn't have the jersey on, I would have got it signed at that moment, but I didn't expect to see anybody because that was cut day. But I ran into Trey in the tunnel. I really didn't speak because he was on the cart drive. They was on the cart driving to the practice field, and then I also ran into another player, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we get into the show. But yeah, man, shout out to myself. It was cool. Had fun, just the wife, myself, and it was good times. But that's all I got this weekend. I know I'm kind of rushing through it just because we got a lot of stuff to get to. That being said, Dave, let's just dive right into the content. Excuse me, and we'll see what we got here. So, Dave, before we jump to the 53-man roster, David Tepper did speak, and when David Tepper speaks, we got to cover it. Okay, we got to cover it. And so there's a few topics, Dave. He talked about the no fans in the stadium decision. He was disappointed. He thinks that we will be at a competitive disadvantage because all of the other teams in the division will have fans in the stadium. So I don't know how we should feel about that, but that's what he said.
So I got a question for you, man.
Sure.
What does it mean when we are in a competitive disadvantage?
He said,
you know what it means to me?
What's that?
It means we have a tanking advantage.
Okay, that's one way to look at it.
That's the way I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, but yeah. So so no fans. He's a little perturbed about that. And he said the new stadium plans are on hold. And he mentioned that he was looking into more of an open air due to COVID. He was all about this dome. But now he's reconsidered and is now considering open air, which makes no sense. You might as well just keep what you got if you're going to do open air, or at least do a retractable roof. I thought that was always in the discussion, but it is what it is. And there was no movement on that. The Charlotte Pipe and Foundry Company, they sold and moved to another city in North Carolina. There's been no movement on that as far as purchasing that land, because that's been all the talk about where they're gonna put the new stadium. So I don't know. There's been no talks. The stadium plans are on hold, so we just gotta wait and see what's up with that. The Jerry Richardson statue isn't coming back. I was down there this weekend. The Jerry Richardson statue is not there, and it looks good. I mean, they opened it up. It's a little less crowded down there as far as the entryways go. He said it's not coming back. So we can all rejoice, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But the Jerry Richardson statue is not coming back. Another thing he talked about was the Hurney contract. He said the Hurney contract has not come up. I think we talked about this last week. But Marty Hurney, his contract expires June 2021, and he said he's too busy to talk about it. So take that for what it is. I don't know what that means, but we know Hurney's going to be around. We just don't know in what capacity. So it is what it is. And then he talked about cutting Cam. He talked about, and I need to get the context of this, but he talked about how cutting Cam was because of a COVID situation. He was due $21 million. And it was tight, the money, whatever. I don't know what it sounded like BS to me. But I guess if you want to be real technical about it, technically, Teddy Bridgewater's contract, his cap hit is only like $14 million. So Cam's would have been $21 million. So you can take, I don't know if that's what he was mentioning, but it sounds like BS to me. I don't know. So he could have just left that whole situation alone. He should have just said, hey, we didn't want to cut him, but, we decided to move on. And that's it. Could just leave it at that. You don't have to talk about COVID. I mean, you don't have to do that, man. I think he definitely did not handle that properly. So, Dave, you got any thoughts on any of these topics before we head on to this? I just figured we talk about some of the highlights about David Tepper.
If the team doesn't do decent, Hurney's out of here. I'm going to let that That's probably obvious.
Yeah, I think he was gone anyway, though. I mean, not gone. I mean, he again.
Like out of here. Like there was talk saying, "Oh, he'll be part of the plans. He's gonna be part of the plans." Nah. Because I think Rule's gonna have to have a fall guy, and Hurdy's gonna be it.
I don't know. I think this again. We talked about this season being a lost season anyway. So I don't know if a fall guy is necessarily needed because I think we're gonna be bad, and I think that's just it is what it is, just due to the fact of COVID, due to the fact we've got a 1-year coach or a rookie coach who has no NFL experience. There's a lot of factors to us being bad, and I don't think Hurney is necessary to be added to that situation as far as a scapegoat is concerned. I think we're just gonna be bad anyway. But yeah, I don't think a fall guy is necessary. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I think I'm still in the mindset that I do think that that Hurney will be around. He's gonna be in play as far as some role, whether it's college scout, whatever. He's gonna have a role. I just don't think GM is gonna be it, and that's why if they really believe that he was the guy for GM, they would have extended him, and it's okay. They're just trying to figure out who the right guy is by now, and I just that's okay. Just take your time trying to find that guy, and I don't think Hurney's gonna be it moving forward. So, any more thoughts on these topics before we move on?
Nah, let's keep it moving, man.
All right, let's get into these. Let's get into this this 53-man roster. So Dave, we ended up picking 46 out of the 53 correct. So we got an 86 on our test. That's a B. I'm cool. I'm cool with having
above average, man.
I'm cool with the B. I was always a B student, so I'm cool with B's. B's are good. So we got 46 out of the 53 correct. There are 7 Rule connections as far as Baylor or Temple players on the roster. There are 30 new players, Dave. So year one
wild.
with the Panthers, yes, nearly 50%, more than half the roster is brand new, which is kind of crazy. It's expected. It's expected. You bring in a new coach, new system.
Sounds like a tanking type of ordeal. We're not tanking, man. He's gonna play every game.
Yeah, we're not tanking. Intentionally we're not gonna tank. I think we're just gonna be bad innately. But But 30 new players was crazy to me. When I saw that, it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like we had 30 brand new guys. But that includes the rookies and that includes everybody. That's their first year with the Panthers. So 56% of the roster is brand new with the Panthers. And so, again, we expect to churn the roster, and there's going to be more guys. Once those contracts expire, there'll be more guys that won't get renewed, and that's okay. You got to get your guys in. But and we got 9 rookies. That includes undrafted free agents, and the average age of the roster is 25.73, which is extremely young, dude. That is really young, man. Super young roster. Like, it's really young. So, any thoughts on these little nuggets that I pulled from the roster, Dave, before we get into the positions?
If Rule keeps the respect of his team and the players love him, about 2 or 3 years, man, this team's gonna be a problem.
It could be, and you can kind of see what they're doing. You can see what they're doing, and we'll get into it. We'll dive into it a little as we get through the positions. But let's jump into the positions. All right. So quarterbacks, no surprises here. Teddy Bridgewater, PJ Walker, Will Grier. No surprises. They all 3 made it. Any comments there, Dave?
Nah, man. Shout out to Teddy.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy. Let's move on. Running backs, Dave. Running backs, including fullback. We got Alex Arma, Trenton Cannon, Mike Davis, Christian McCaffrey. First surprise, Reggie Bonifant out of here. What were your thoughts when you first saw that news, Dave? Reggie Bonifant getting the cut.
I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked because he lost to Mike Davis. I was more shocked that Trent Cannon beat him out.
Yeah, me too. But which is really, I don't think this is the right thing to do. But Matt Rule said there was an emphasis on special teams guys, and they said that Trenton Cannon was one of the best gunners out there, so that's why Trenton Cannon made it over Reggie Bonifant. You can call it what you want, but I think Bonifant. I was actually surprised Bonifant cleared waivers and made it back, because I really thought, and I know the Redskins had players, but I at least thought they would have picked him up, or even the Bills or somebody related to the Panthers organization would have picked him up. Bonifant is a solid running back, and he could have, I don't know if he would have had a resurgence in another system, but they were really, really hyping up Mike Davis, and they definitely followed through with that Mike Davis love and crowned him as number 2. But yeah, Trenton Cannon, he made it over Reggie Bonifant, and then we got Alex Armour there. So any thoughts on the running backs, Dave? Other than Reggie getting put, Reggie did end up coming back and is on the practice squad. Yeah, which we'll have a list of those guys later. All right, so moving on. Dave, we got the wide receivers. So no real surprises here. Keith Kirkwood did make the roster, but then he got turned around and placed on IR. So we initially kept 7, then dropped down to 6 when Keith Kirkwood went to IR. So we got DJ Moore, obviously, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, Seth Roberts. Seth Roberts' name did come up in trade talks. Nothing ever came from that, but I do really like this receiving core. I don't know if we'll be able to keep it together long term, but for year 1, I really like the top 4 guys. And I think Omar Bayless, when he returns from IR or wherever, reserve, whatever he comes back from, I think he'll end up taking Brandon Zausch's spot. But yeah, Brandon did make it, so shout out to Dave. You called that one. And
I knew Brandon was gonna make the squad, man.
Yeah, he stepped up when other dudes went down, and then we got Farrell Cooper as well. Farrell Cooper he's returned. He's gonna be the return specialist. When the depth chart came out, he was listed as a kick and punt returner, so that's a good look. And he's really good at it. So I'm happy we finally got that taken care of, because we effing suck as far as special teams goes. And I think Farrell Cooper is nice. So let's move on. Any more thoughts here, Dave?
Nah, man, it's about what I expected.
All right. So tight ends. This is where it got a little interesting, because Ian Thomas and Chris Manhertz initially were the only 2 guys. We just recently signed Colin Thompson back. He is a connection from, I think he went to Baylor, and he's familiar with Matt Rule, and so I think that's why he came back. But he was initially cut, and then we brought him back. But I'm not seeing. Just a quick thought based off of what I'm seeing, Dave, is I don't see any emphasis on the tight ends at all. I think the tight ends are not being respected at all, because we'll talk about this later, Dave, but I don't know if you saw this, but the depth chart came out. Chris Manhertz is TE1. So Chris Manhertz is TE1 and Ian Thomas is TE2.
Probably want him to stay back the block then.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Then there's no respect to the tight end position, and I just don't think that even with and you can take out the fact that Ian Thomas might be hurt, and again it may be due to that could be true, but even just carrying 2 tight ends on the roster initially signals that we ain't really rocking with tight ends like that. I think tight ends were used at LSU. Thaddeus Moss was nice and got he went undrafted, but Thaddeus Thomas put up some solid numbers. But I think we're gonna just spread out and play more wide receivers, which is okay if it works. I just feel like Ian Thomas is a solid talent, and he shouldn't be rotting on the bench, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so Chris Manhertz, he's gonna come back. He's a great blocker. We already know that. He's helped out some of what you call the best right tackles in the game. He's helped them get paid. So Chris Manhertz is a solid blocker. I mean, he's good. And Thaddeus Moss is actually on the Washington Redskins, and he is on IR with the Redskins. So we can't take him from the Redskins if anybody's wondering, because I looked into that. But yeah, so I just see a complete disregard for the tight ends. I could be wrong. I need to see it on paper, out on the field. But on paper, when you only keep 2 tight ends, and you bring back Colin Thompson, who's I think undrafted free agent. There's no emphasis on the tight end. So that's just an observation of mine. Could be completely wrong on that. Just an observation. All right, moving on, Dave. Let's take a look at I don't know why I have these out of order, but the defensive line. The defensive line looks pretty solid. We got Brian Burns, Gross Matos, who actually is a starter. Marquise Haynes, Zach Kerr, F.A. Obata, who got cut. We brought him back, so I had to
the squad or brought him back on the roster.
No, he's on the roster. I had to edit this like 30 times. This slide got edited.
I saw the tweet that he had, and so they brought him back. I thought
he got cut and then brought back. And we'll talk about why he got brought back in a second. But he got brought back and is on the roster. We picked up Sharif Miller off of the Eagles. The Eagles dropped him, and we picked him up off of waivers. Sharif Miller, he was a fourth round draft pick. Didn't make many appearances, but he's from Penn State, and he played with Gross Matos, so there is some familiarity there. And Stephen Weatherly is still here, Derek Brown, K'Wan Short, and Bravion Roy. So we've got I think the defensive line is solid. We're gonna take some bumps. But I think it's gonna be okay. I will be okay in the long run. But it's not going to be pretty initially. All right. So that's the defensive line. Dave, you got any thoughts on the defensive line? I thought Marquise Haynes was going to be out of here, personally.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that one.
Yeah, when it came down to it and we picked up Sharif Miller, initially I put two people in the chat. I said either F.A. or Marquise Haynes are gone, and they picked F.A. And listen, F.A., I wasn't surprised. I was surprised when F.A. got cut, but it didn't surprise me at the same time. F.A. is one of those guys where he's been caught in between schemes and finding a position at the same time. He's been putting on weight, and he's that tweener between defensive tackle and defensive end. And I don't think he quite found it yet. And once he finds his rotation, or once he finds his position, and hopefully we can get some solidarity there and some continuity in the defense, so he can find his spot and play. But he's been rotated around, asked to play different positions, and I just think he got lost in the sauce, and he just became expendable. But he's back, and he's back, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But any other thoughts on defensive line, Dave?
Man, other than Haynes making a squad, everything else is what it's expected.
Yep, everything else is pretty much fell in line. All right, let's take a look at the offensive line again. I have my slides switched. Don't know how that happened. But anyway, so offensive line, Russell Okung, Taylor Moton, Greg Little, Matt Caskey made the roster initially, then was cut when we picked up Trenton Scott. Trenton Scott played under the offensive line coach, Pat Meyer. He was with the Chargers for the last 2 seasons. So he already knows the staff. He knows whatever the play calling, the blocking scheme, whatever. He knows that. He originally signed with the Rams as an undrafted free agent out of Grambling State, Dave. So shout out to the HBCUs. He replaced injured Russell Okung at left tackle. So there's your left tackle insurance. And he started 9 games. So this is a sneaky nice pickup too, because he's young. He's only 26 years old. So this is a nice little pickup. It makes you wonder what they think about Greg Little. But I do like that they continue to try to fix it. And again, I don't know how you guys feel about the Chargers' defensive line or offensive line. I could say some bad things about the offensive line of the Chargers, but we've got now 3 of those guys. So we've got Schofield, we've got Trent Scott, and we've got Russell Okung. So 3 of those guys are now from the Chargers. So you say what you want about it, but it is what it is. So John Miller, we got Dennis Daly, who is looking hurt right now. He sprained his ankle. We'll talk about injuries a little bit later. And Matt Paradis and Tyler Larson. So that's the offensive line. I think it's okay. I think it's for what it is. I think it's a decent O-line. I think if Russell Okung stays healthy, I think we'll be okay. Excuse me, especially on the outsides. The interior, I'm a little worried about with the Dennis Daly injury, and I'm not sure about Paradis. He had a rough year last year, so I'm concerned about the interior of the line. So The outsides were actually finally okay, but the insides, I'm a little concerned. Dave, you got any thoughts on the offensive line?
Nah, man. I'm hoping that they gel enough so they can protect Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy's he needs some protection. B.
Mad protection, yo.
All right, so let's move on. Linebackers, Dave. Linebackers, we got Shaq Thompson, Tahir Whitehead. Your boy Jermaine Carter slid in there. He made it. Darius Taylor and Julian Stanford are the linebackers. Now, there's some confusion on my part because some of these guys are listed as linebacker, but they also play safety too. So you'll see a little bit later. There's a guy that's listed as a linebacker, but on the depth chart he's listed as a safety. So it's weird. There's definitely some position flexibility going on. But yeah, linebacker, I'm not sold on these dudes. Shaq, okay, yeah, Shaq is all right. Tahir, listen, they said Tahir is struggled in coverage. Not the best out there. And again, when we start talking about the Raiders, the linebacker was one of their weakest position, and we went and got one of their guys. Again, it could be a scheme thing, but our linebackers, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about linebacker. But hopefully we fix the interior of our defensive line, and that'll help out the linebackers a little bit. We'll see what happens. So, any thoughts on the linebackers, Dave? Yeah, I mean, Darius Taylor, Julian Stanford, those guys. I mean, you talking undrafted guys right there. So, I mean, it ain't pretty, bro. I should have counted how many undrafted guys we have, because it's a lot. I think it's a lot more than normal. I could be wrong, but just off initial look, I think it's a lot of undrafted guys on this roster. But yeah, not pretty for linebackers. So
I'm assuming it's Shaq, Whitehead, and Carter starting?
Nah, Carter won't. Well, you'll see when we get to the depth chart, because they have Carter and Jeremy Chin listed as right outside linebacker as starters. So you'll see it. It's weird, man. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah. All right, moving on. Cornerbacks, Dave. You think the linebackers were ugly? Take a look at this picture. All right. So, cornerbacks, Dante Jackson. We had Eli Apple. Eli Apple has a hamstring injury, Dave, and has gone to IR. So we no longer have Eli Apple. Now, let me say something about IR, because IR is a little different with the COVID rules. IR is now only 3 weeks, so he can come back after 3 weeks. So it's not
how many weeks?
3 weeks. You can return after 3 weeks.
Oh, well, so it's not two separate IRs if it's COVID or not?
I don't know, but you can come back. The IR rules have changed. You can come back after 3 weeks, and he's eligible to come back after 3 weeks. We got Troy Pride Jr., Dave. We got Corn Elder, Dave. We got Stanley Thomas Oliver, Dave. We got Miles Hartsfield, Dave, undrafted guy. And we got Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas, we picked up off of waivers from the Eagles. He was a third-round pick, the 2017 draft. You want to talk about ugly drafts? The Eagles 2017 draft is pretty ugly. They only got 2 remaining guys, so we ain't the only ones struggling out here in these draft streets. But
shout out to Andrew Berry.
Yeah, hey, you gotta praise him when you can. But listen, that ain't pretty. That's not a stat you want to tout right there. 2 guys left. The 6'2", he's 6'2", 209 pounds. He played for 46 games in Philly. He's got a lot of experience. 46 games in Philly, starting 18 over the past 3 seasons. And he started in 6 games last year. Recorded 10 passes deflected, 3 tackles for loss, and he has a career total of 5 interceptions. So he gets his hands on the ball. Listen, from what I've been reading about Rasul Douglas is that this dude is a solid player. He's a solid player, but got caught in a bad scheme. He got caught in a bad scheme with the Eagles, and I think he's looking for a place to recover. He's 6'2". Listen, he like that spot, that size and speed. I don't know about the speed. He's got the size that Rule is looking for. I just don't know. I think I don't know. Change the scenery maybe for him. I don't know, man. But this cornerback room is not pretty, bro. And listen, I do commend them. Dave, I think they listened to the last show. Because they didn't go out and they didn't go and trade for a cornerback yet. Anyway, they still have time to do that if they wanted to. But listen, I'm from
after week 1.
this is a situation where I'm a proponent of letting dudes get out there and struggle. Like, yo, we not gonna be good this season. Like, we're not a cornerback away from a Super Bowl team. Let's be clear. Cornerback is not the only issue we have, and we're not a cornerback away from winning the Super Bowl. So let these guys get out and get game experience. Experience is the only thing that's gonna help them out. Let them get baptized. It is what it is. I do like that they were patient and they picked up Rasul Douglas off of waivers. He's young too. He's only 25 years old. So you got a young cat that could come in and research, have a career resurgence with us. And shout out to Pat Stewart. Pat Stewart is our director of pro personnel, and we got him from Philly. So for Sharif Miller and Rasul Douglas are two guys that he liked, and so we went and got him from Philly. So I commend them for doing that instead of making a rash decision, go out there and get a cornerback for some BS trade. Like, we're not a cornerback away. You know what I'm saying? So keep trying to figure it out. Let Troy Pride play. Let Stanley Thomas Oliver play. Let these dudes get out there and get baptized. And it is what it is. That's how they're going to learn. That's how they're going to get better. They could sink or swim. And you'll know rather quickly if your draft pick is going to pan out or not. You know what I'm saying? Give them a couple years. You know, Josh Norman wasn't Josh Norman until year 3. So sometimes you got to let these dudes get baptized and let them come back. The thing with Josh Norman, too, is Josh Norman got to play early. He got to play early, got to get his feet wet, get killed out here, and he came back and he bounced back. So, you know, that it is what it is. It is what it is, all right? So any thoughts on these cornerbacks, Dave? Don't shake your head, man. You got to say something.
I don't have to say anything. All I got to do is look at these names. Looking at these names is enough for me. Jesus, man.
It's not pretty, man. It's not pretty. All right. So, moving on. Safeties. So, we got Trey Boston, Justin Burris, Dave, and we got a cut draft pick already. Kenny Robinson, 5th round draft pick from 2020. Not 2018, not 2019, Dave. The 2020 draft, the 5th round pick has been cut, okay? Jeremy Chin, and we got Sam Franklin.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then I encourage you guys not to go back and look at who was there afterwards. Okay, don't go back and look to see who was there in the 5th round because you're gonna be pissed. Okay, so Kenny Robinson cut. This is not a good look because you could have used that pick. Granted, he did make it back to the practice squad, so we did get him back. He cleared waivers, got him back. But at the end of the day, it's not a good look when you cut a guy. Because we could have had him on the practice squad and got him undrafted potentially anyway because he was at the XFL. So we could have got this dude and drafted somebody else. You know what I'm saying? There was lots of names we could have drafted. I won't go through them because they ain't gonna do nothing but make me mad. Okay, so Bryce Hall being one of them, and Bryce Hall I think is on injured reserve with the Jets. So
3 weeks or legit?
I don't know. He was, he's had injury. Bryce Hall had injury issues in college, so it is what it is with him. So I don't know what the deal is with him, but anyway, but Kenny Robinson is cut, and I hadn't heard his name all training camp. B. So there was other guys making plays. Sam Franklin is one of them. He's the guy that was listed as a linebacker. But he's obviously a backup safety too, so I don't know. But okay, so Grandalizer's saying Miami cut his 5th round to 2. Yes, you're right. But they had like 32 picks in the draft, so they had a lot of picks. Yeah, all them dudes wasn't gonna make the team, so that's different from our situation. Completely different. You never want to cut a draft pick, especially in the first year, but it's a little bit different from our situation. All right. So let's move on. Specialists, you know it. J.J. Jansen, Joe Charlton still made the roster. I don't know how he made it. And Joey Sly's the kicker. So no big news there. All right. So here's the practice squad, Dave. No real surprises here. Quick story. Sam Tecklenburg. I saw Sam Tecklenburg on Saturday cut day. I saw him. He was in my hotel room, or not in my hotel room.
Yeah, not in your room, right?
Pause. He was in the elevator. We were in the elevator together. I saw him. He had the Panthers mask on. He was with his girl. He had a Panthers mask on, number 71. I didn't know who he was initially, and he had a Baylor like dry fit shirt on. And I didn't know. I didn't know who he was, but I figured, he was one of Rule's guys, and I didn't know at the time whether he had made the team or not. So I didn't say nothing to him. I was, congrats or whatever. I didn't say nothing because he come to find out he had got cut. So I'm glad I didn't say nothing. But then he ended up making it back to the practice squad. So he is back on the practice squad. I wish I had a chance to say congratulations to him, but he's a big dude. Pause. But no surprises here on the practice squad. I think only thing Kenny Robinson, that's a shame, and the Reggie Bonifant, that's interesting. And then the guy Clay Johnston, we picked him up from the LA Rams, I believe. He's a hometown dude, ex-Baylor guy, so he's a linebacker too. So a couple linebackers, still trying to figure out that linebacker situation. It looks like Ishmael Hyman, he had a good camp, so he made it back to the practice squad. So that's a good look. We're keeping a kicker on the practice squad, Dave. That ought to tell you something right there. Kari Vidvik, he's the guy that we picked up. We keeping him on the practice squad. So that ought to tell you how comfortable we are with your fellow Gamecock.
Kicker?
Yeah. So that's all I got for practice squad.
Not punter though.
Punter / kicker.
Okay.
Same thing. He's a punter. That's what we brought him in to do.
All right.
That's really it for the practice squad. Injuries, we talked about these earlier. Ian Thomas got a toe. Eli Apple, hamstring on IR. Dennis Daly got an ankle sprain. I think Matt Rule said he didn't know whether it was day-to-day or could be out longer than that. They don't know, which sucks. And Keith Kirkwood's on IR too. So the IR guys are eligible to return in 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens, especially with Eli Apple and Keith Kirkwood. Should be interesting. And the Eli Apple going to IR is what allowed us to sign back F.A. Obata.
So
FA could have been out of here, or at least back on the practice squad. He could be.
Might use the first 3 games to try more people out too.
Could be
But I think
true.
a lot of teams are going to do that.
Yeah, there's no really preseason to go off. So you never know. All right, moving on. Dave, here is the depth chart.
Starters.
Here is the depth chart, and this is again. I highlighted Chris Manhertz. Bro, I don't know how this. I mean, it is just week 1. This is not the season-long depth chart. Let's just add some context to that. But Chris Manhertz is the starting tight end right now. And another interesting note was that Dennis Daly doesn't have a backup. I'm assuming Trent Scott can play both. Trent Scott is one of those flexible guys. He can pretty much play all over the line. Looks like he backed up at left tackle. They got him as a backup right tackle. So it looks pretty good. No real surprises as far as the receivers look good. They got, I don't know why they put Will Grier and Teddy Bridgewater as both as backups. That don't make no sense, man. Just pick one. Stop trying to be friends with everybody. And then the running backs. That looks good, man.
Maybe it's close, man. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, but just make
maybe God. They hope that Teddy doesn't get hurt because then he's got to make a decision of who's behind.
Yeah, if Teddy get hurt, it's gonna be a long. It's gonna be a long. And that's surprising too that we didn't pick up a quarterback and put him on the practice squad.
Well, not because they got 2 number 2s. They got Will Grier and PJ Walker.
I know. I'm just saying. Still, like, even what happens if something with COVID or something like that, you never know, man. So I don't know, man. No real surprises on the offense. No, for real. Everything looks pretty straightforward other than Chris Manhertz. Defensively, shout out to Yatur Gross-Matos. He beat out Stephen Weatherly, which begs the point. I don't understand why Weatherly is still on the roster. Like, why? I mean, I guess they did sign him to a 2-year deal. I got to see what it would cost to cut him. But you got FA. I don't know if he's like, we're paying him like $6 million a year to be a mentor, and obviously they're gonna rotate the guy. So starter really doesn't matter, and at the end of the day, it's more about snap count, and we'll see who has more snaps. I think that'll be more telling than anything else.
I'm liking that front four though.
Front four is gonna be all right. I think they're gonna take their bumps though. They're gonna take their bumps. It's not gonna be pretty all the time, but talk to me like 3 years from now. That 3 years from now, that could be a problem. Especially if we could find a younger K1 Short, that could be a problem. Like for the future, I think that'll be a problem. Maybe Derrick Brown is that, but we'll see. Maybe Bravion Roy can pan out and
our
be
run
something
defense
special.
might be improved for a change. Because if the front four is solid, the linebackers don't have to be that great. If they're solid,
We'll see.
They're good.
We'll see, man.
But our pass defense is going to be trash.
Exactly.
Unless Troy Pride is legit, which is possible.
But I'm happy that they let that man get out there and take his bumps. It's gonna be ugly, man. Just let him play though. Let him play. Let him play.
Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
So
twice.
man, he's gonna be better for this, man. He's gonna be better for that. He's gonna be better for that. Just let him get out there and take these bumps. So interesting note with Jeremy Chan, he's listed as a right outside linebacker and a free safety, backup free safety. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? They're gonna find a spot for him. And then they got Stanley Thomas Oliver way down the depth chart. It's interesting there was a comment posted on the video for our last show, and they got mad at me because I called Stanley Thomas Oliver garbage, and they were like, yeah, he's a 7th round pick and he's gonna develop. Yeah, he could absolutely develop into a solid player, but he's a 7th round pick, okay? And right now he's not good. You gotta hear that from me. You ain't got. I mean, I'm just the bear. I'm just saying it. It ain't just me saying that. If they believed in him, then he would be a little. They wouldn't have went out and got.
Chart.
Yeah, and they
number 5.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be behind. They wouldn't have went out and got Rasul Douglas if they believed in Stanley Thomas Oliver. And could he? Yes, he has the skill set. He's 6 or not. Excuse me, not the skill set, but he has the size. But listen, all that don't matter if you can't play. You got to be able to play the game. It's about playing the game, B. So it's about playing, okay? So shout out to the comment. Yes, he can turn into something. That's absolutely true. He can turn out to be, and yes, we should kind of trust the process. But just because you have the size, don't mean you can play the game. And you have to have instincts to play. And you gotta be smart. You gotta be football smart. So it's more than just size. It's absolutely more than just size. So,
from Grandize asked the question. For me, I'm cool with what we're doing considering the circumstances. Because I would rather them deal with what we got versus trying to trade picks.
Exactly.
To get somebody.
Which we talked about last week.
Look, I just know what the reality is. I am going to be I'm a fantasy guy, so I'm going to be setting my fantasy lineups, paying attention to who the Panthers play every week because our wide receiver is going to go off on them every week because we've already come to the conclusion that Dante's not a 1. Unless something snaps between now and Sunday, Dante's not a 1. And everybody else behind him, unless they show up and out, they're not 1s either. They're probably 3s at best. So this is what we got. This is what we got to deal with.
Yeah. Well, year 3 is the year, man. Year 3 is that's when the light supposedly goes on for guys. And Dante, he has all the opportunity in the world because there's nobody behind him. So he's got to step up, point blank, period. He has all the opportunity. Listen, all the NFL is about opportunity. You got to have the talent and have the opportunity. So it's there. It's there for all the cornerbacks. You got to take advantage of it. And I know it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly for sure. Just prepare yourselves for that. All right.
Yo, Marcus, we're not calling this the process. We're just calling this this is just the rebuild. I'm not calling this a process. We see what happens when teams call things a process. They get swept in the first round. That's what happens.
Just facts. All right. I already talked about injuries. I don't know why that's there. But all right. So
the draft started, guys, and we're rolling.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Y'all can draft. That is what it is. We'll continue with the show. We will check back in with the draft when that time comes. But we're gonna keep going. We still got some stuff to cover.
Yeah, let's go.
All
What's
right.
next?
So the 2020 draft pick. So I just want. Remember how I did this last week with the 2018 and 2019 draft, Dave? Well, I wasn't expecting to do this until much later.
Who's next?
I wasn't expecting to do this until much later in the season. But listen, we already got a guy that's out of here. He's on the practice squad, but to me that don't count. Kenny Robinson.
Don't be disrespecting Stanley. Now Stanley made the squad. Don't be doing that.
He did make the squad. He did make it over Kenny. He did make it over Kenny. So I'll give him.
Kenny.
Yeah. So it's.
Hurney, you know what? I stand by it. You need to change Hurney 2.0 to like Hurney 1.02.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's not good, man. Especially when you're in a. We're not trusting the process, but I guess especially this is a rebuild. This is the rebuild.
Listen, I know we're not supposed to be talking about the draft now, but my boy Pat out here drafting Pat Mahomes in the first round. But we'll keep it moving.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, that's not good. This is not a good sign. This is not, even if he can't.
1.8. I ain't do that. No, we're not rounding it up to 2. We're gonna do 1.1, 1.2, not 1.5 either. That's a round or 2. Nope.
And listen,
sorry.
No, you're good. And listen, even though he made it back to the practice squad, that's still not okay. I want that to be clear. I want you guys to get in the mindset of roster building. This is not okay. You cannot draft a guy, cut him, because guess what? You could have used that pick on somebody that you would not have cut initially. You could have picked Kenny Robinson up off the street. He was an XFL guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And didn't hear anything about him all camp. Not a peep. I didn't hear his name one time. Not one time, B. So, and then all this dude Rule said he got a nice future ahead of him. Well, what the hell that's supposed to?
Not here.
Exactly. So of course you're gonna say that, man.
Well, now we brought him back, right? He's on the practice squad.
He's on the practice squad. Yeah.
All right, so he's got a nice future ahead on the practice squad.
Not good, man. Not a good look.
5th round pick.
Yeah, 5th round pick, man. Cut. And now you're on the practice squad. Definitely could have had somebody else. Just wanted to update you guys on the salary cap. We're in pretty decent shape. We've got $7.5 million in cap space since because the salary cap only includes the top 53 contracts. So now that we made all our cuts, we have an official cap number, and it's $7.5 million. And we'll be able to cap. The dead cap is what it is because it goes away next year. Like we're down to $2 million next year, so it's irrelevant. You can talk about the dead cap all you want. That's gonna happen when you get a new coach and you got 30 new players. Like that's gonna happen. So it is what it is. We could talk about that dead cap. It's irrelevant. But in 2021, you can see the box next to the 2020 is the 2021 numbers. And this includes the drop in salary cap. So the drop will be like $175 million. That's going to be the salary cap next year. And now we're down. We'll have an estimated $28.6 million. That's a really good spot, considering that the cap is going to drop, and considering what other teams look like. We're in pretty good shape. We're in pretty good shape for next season, and I don't think we have a terrible amount of people to re-sign. So we're in pretty solid shape. We're in pretty good shape for sure. So I think the Saints were like 75 million over or 90 something, some wild number. But obviously if they get rid of Drew, that'll be about 14-15 million off of that. So they got ways to get under it, but it's a lot of teams are gonna be struggling with the salary cap drop next year due to COVID. So I just wanted to put that out there so you guys know where we are. And see where we stand for the salary cap. All right, moving on. So we got 7 days, 7 more days until football. 6. Well, yeah, 6 days until football. So, and I can't wait. I'm gonna be watching. Listen, no expectations, Dave. What kind of expectations you got for this? You expecting the dub?
We should be able to beat the Raiders week 1, even with this. I think Matt Rule really wants to start his career as 1-0, and then it gets ugly after that. We should be able to beat the Raiders week 1, man. At home too, even though we ain't gonna have no fans in the stands, but we should be able to beat the Raiders week 1.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's nothing really to go off. There's nothing you can go off of LSU film. You can try to go off the Saints film, but it's all a blur. It's all a blur. We don't know what to. The Panthers fans don't know what to expect. See what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy out here. Let's check out. This is Pro Football Focus. This is something I know it's hard to see, man. I apologize. But this is how Pro Football Focus has the matchups. And this is going to be our offense versus their defense. And their secondary, they were pretty bad last year from a secondary perspective. Last year, they ranked 31st in 2019 in pass defense. And it doesn't look like they improved that much. They do have Damon Arnett, so that's solid. They picked him up in the draft. And their defensive line is good. Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell. They got some guys up front that could give our offensive line some problems. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting. But I feel like we can expose their secondary pretty good. I feel like we can do that. I just don't know if our defense will be able to keep up. But let's see. Is there anything you want to point out on this, Dave?
Offensively, we should be fine. Like, we should be able to get a decent chunk of points. I think this game really has shootout potential, man. Like, this game could be wide open from an offensive standpoint on both ends. This could be a shootout. And the fact that there's no fans going to be there, so you're going to be able to execute everything that you want to execute. You ain't got to worry about not being able to hear any. This could be a shootout. Legit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it could be. This could be an interesting game from an offensive standpoint. It's definitely gonna be sloppy for sure. Go ahead, Dave.
You know what? Now I'm curious. Let me see what Vegas is saying, man.
I think it's 3.
No, not that.
Over under. Okay, my bad. But yeah, I think
we're not favored to win either, are we?
No, we're not. This them.
So.
3-point dogs. But yeah, I think if our offensive line can hold up a little bit, I think we can expose their secondary for sure.
47.5. 27-29 might be higher than that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go over that too.
Yeah, it's gonna be higher than that.
But yeah, so here is what the defense looks like, and this is what this is a nickel look, and I think Pro Football Focus may have some guys mixed up. Like Burris and Chin probably need to switch, but that's pretty irrelevant at the end of the day. Just looking at this, listen. I'll tell you this, man. I tell you this right now. We couldn't. I don't know if we're gonna have a tougher matchup from a receiving core standpoint, man. Like, listen, these dudes got some ball. Like, from an entire core perspective, they got some guys, man. And I don't know if Derek Carr is. I don't know if I trust Derek Carr, but he didn't get sacked very often last year, just because they got rid of the ball so quick. And they've got some guys potentially. Ruggs is new. Hunter Renfro, Waller, like that's gonna be tough. Yes, Tampa Bay's gonna be in there. Tampa Bay's gonna be up there. Obviously, they got Gronk, they got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and some other guys. Obviously, they're probably gonna be the toughest from a core perspective. But the Raiders are not. They're right there. The Raiders got some guys, man. They got some from a receiving core standpoint. They got some guys, and the offensive line is pretty good. They get rid of the ball really quick, and they can run the ball. This is where it gets really interesting. Is can we stop the run? Because if we can stop the run and put the ball in Derek Carr's hands, we may have an opportunity. I just don't know if our secondary can step up. I just don't know if we'll be able to. It's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout too. But I think stopping the run has to be our number one priority. And Matt Rule talked about that. Obviously, they got Josh Jacobs. I don't know why they got Rashard as the number one guy, but Josh Jacobs is good. They will run the ball, and Rashard is that change of pace guy. So listen, and Derek Carr gets rid of the ball. He doesn't take hits. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't take hits. And I think, and I don't know about. I don't know. Last year they did have some trouble scoring. They would move the ball, but they couldn't score. So I don't know if they obviously went out and got Ruggs. They obviously went out there and improved some of the defense on the offensive side, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
They still got Jacobs too.
Yeah, Jacobs. The offense is going to be good, man. The offense is going to be good. Obviously, we expect our run defense to be much improved with Derrick Brown there, but I just think I don't know if it's going to be enough due to the pass game that they have. And I think Jeremy Chin or whoever's going to be guarding Waller is about to get baptized too. So we'll see. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough out here. I don't know, man.
This could be a shootout, man. I'm telling you.
So, yeah. That's really all I got from a from a matchup standpoint, Dave. What are your expectations watching it? Do you got any like bold predictions or anything you want to go off?
It looks like it's bold enough to say that they're going to win this week.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold prediction, Dave.
I mean, they're 3-point dogs at home. That means they're really 6-point dogs because typically the home team gets 3 points. So like they're six. So in essence, they're 6-point dogs. So, yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna beat these dudes, man. I think Rule's gonna have the boys ready. I think our defensive line's gonna play. I think we'll be able to stop the run or neutralize it. I just don't think we have no way to stop the pass.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave.
We're gonna win this game in a shootout.
I agree with that, Dave. I think we'll be able to neutralize the run, but I have no faith in our secondary, and I don't think we'll be able to bring enough pressure either to bother Derek Carr, especially in the first game. The first game, I think it's gonna be ugly. And listen, as you're watching this game, do your best not to get frustrated. We have not had a preseason. It's gonna be an ugly game, bro. Like across the board, the Raiders are gonna be sloppy. We are gonna be sloppy. It's gonna be a sloppy game. It's gonna be a sloppy. Yeah. Mistakes are gonna be made. So don't even like try to go out there and expect perfection, because it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be ugly. Okay, it's gonna be ugly. But yeah, man, I'm expecting. I don't expect Teddy Bridgewater. I expect Teddy Bridgewater to do fine. He's gonna do fine. No turnovers, I hope. The Raiders do have a solid defense, but I feel like their secondary can be exposed. They invested a lot up front, and we'll see if that translates. But we'll see, man. I'm nervous about the offensive line too. I think I'm nervous across the board. I don't think we're gonna win the game. Personally, I don't think we're gonna win. I think it's.
Did you have us winning before the season?
I don't even remember, man. I gotta go back and get those numbers.
Did or not.
I probably did. Now that I've seen the roster and the roster's pan out, I just think the secondary is gonna be ugly. It's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. Yeah, I think yes. Sean Wolf says, didn't Rule get mad because our practice was lazy? Yeah, they had a scrimmage. They had on the whole get up, the game jerseys, all the game stuff, and they went out there and laid an egg, and he got mad. So my record prediction is probably gonna be I'm gonna stick with the 5-11.
I had us going 4-12, but I had us winning this game.
I think it's gonna be ugly, man. It's gonna be an ugly season, man. Just strap in, bro, and just enjoy football. Enjoy football, and just hop along for the ride, man. But I think this game, you gotta think about continuity. Who has the continuity, right? They got a lot more continuity than we do, and I think especially from their defense might be a little. There's some new guys on defense, but from an offensive perspective, those guys have been in place. They know what to expect. They know what to do. Us, on the other hand, it's just a lot of new guys, a lot of moving parts, man. I don't know if we'll be able to hold on. We already talked about the Sharif Douglas and the Sharif Miller and Rasul Douglas. We already talked about that stuff from a roster perspective. We already talked about that. I think though Sharif and Rasul, they haven't even practiced yet. They haven't even gotten in the building. So don't even expect to see them. You'll probably won't even see them. They probably won't even suit up week 1. You know what I'm saying? So
if they do suit up week 1, we got a bigger concern, guys.
yeah, I don't think they'll suit up. So we can only, I don't know, we can only speculate when they're gonna get on the field. But all right, Dave, you wanna share what's going on in the draft, on the fantasy draft, or do we want to open the phone line? Hey man, I want to open the phone lines, but I feel like last week y'all didn't call in.
Open up the phone lines.
I'll open them up, man. Last week nobody called in, bro. I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm gonna open them up, and y'all could give y'all opinion on the roster, man. So the phone lines are now open. Let me know if there's an issue, because there could be an issue on my side. But let me know if there's an issue on my side with the phone line.
You have disabled screen sharing, sir.
I have.
You have.
Let me see. I'm making you the host.
Oh boy, that's scary.
Now you should be able to do what you want.
All right, let's see. My first, yes. Or did I do deny? Safari unknown. Hold on, man. Let me make my pick real quick. Let me grab Jordan Howard. All right, let's see. Did that work?
So yeah, we got the fantasy draft going right now. The PNP fantasy league. I'm not playing. So I don't do fantasy anymore. But yeah, let me know if there's an issue with the phone lines. If nobody calling in, because I don't see anybody calling in. Usually, I got the Robbie Anderson on. Shout out to Robbie Anderson. Shout out to Robbie Anderson, man. All right, let me see if I can make. I gotta make it big. I gotta make it bigger. Give me a second.
As long as you can see it, I can't tell because now my face is on the right hand side. But yeah, I'm assuming it's up.
Give me 1 second.
You still using OBS?
No. I'm using so can't call in. What is it saying when you can't call in? Give me. I got a couple things going on. There we go. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get y'all a new number. Give me 1 second.
Maybe that's why nobody called in last week.
I don't know. Maybe. Give me a second. I gotta. So the fantasy draft. What the team's looking like? What you looking like, Dave?
Yeah, I'm looking alright. I prefer the draft I had before the show. I mean, I got Zeke, Chris Carson, Godwin, Keenan Allen, Zach Ertz, AJ Green. I'm looking pretty good. And the champion got the number 1 pick. You got McCaffrey and DJ Moore on this squad. You got Todd Gurley, T.Y. Hilton, Gronk, Mark Ingram. Not bad. What's Big Baller Brand looking like? Barkley, Dobbins, Smith-Schuster. Oh, them wide receivers are tough, man. Those are rough. Those are rough receivers. Slim, I don't know how I feel about your receivers. Oh, Pat's live doing the draft. I'm glad he showed up, man. Is he calling me a cheater? Because he definitely did in the chat. I should go and bug him.
Need to record. 1 second. Give me one. I'll put it back in a second. I'm trying to fix this.
I wonder if his I hope his listeners didn't tell him to go draft Pat Mahomes in the first round, because that's not that ain't the way to do it. There's ways to do things. Oh.
The tight end for me. I really didn't want that. If I was gonna go tight end, I definitely want to pick Hunter Henry. I probably would have went Hayden Hurst because I know how Atlanta loves to use their tight ends. I definitely would have went with Hayden Hurst.
They helping him, man. I feel him.
They're definitely helping them, but they're helping them and tell them to pick Patrick Mahomes in the first is not a good look.
Well, there was some crazy stuff going on in the last one I was in too. That's why I was able to get Tom Brady in like the 9th round.
All right,
But
so
if I would have waited, I could have gotten Cam in the 15th.
I updated the passcode. Let me see if the number. Let me see if that works, guys. For the
Shout out
calling.
to Pat though. Pat's my guy. Pat's my guy. Yeah, I got Cam. Yo, somebody took Cam in the 15th round. I don't even know. I didn't even check to see if he's just gonna be the only quarterback he got. If it is, that dude's got a deep roster.
Oh, I like that. Y'all got the 30-second joint popping. It's moving quick.
Oh yeah, man. And it doesn't make noise, so I got to keep looking to check and make sure. Because if I don't, my pick will be in and out real quick if I don't. Let me see here. Marcus, man, what you doing? Oh, I knew he was gonna pick Brady there. Grr. I can wait. What we got popping? Let's see what we got popping over here. Where's my team at? John Brown. Why not?
See if I can fix these Zoom settings, man. I don't like that passcode. It's too much stuff to type in.
I'm not digging my bench, that's for sure. I'm not feeling my bench. Starters, I'm cool with. Bench, not feeling it.
Bench wins leagues, man.
I know. I'm not digging the bench right now. I probably should take a quarterback here. I probably should take a quarterback here. I don't know if I will, though. We'll decide. Breeze is gone. Josh Allen. One more Pat thought about my Josh Allen pick. I took him over Aaron Rodgers, so tell you how I feel about Aaron Rodgers this year. And Carson Wentz. And Matt Ryan. Josh is gonna run, man. Gotta get that running quarterback popping. I could have took Wentz to pair him with Ertz, but I didn't want to do that. Any luck with the phone line?
Nah. Well, I'm trying to disable the password thing, so you don't have to type in a password. But I think I provided the passcode. You can try. You might be able to try again. He said, Shannon says you're in, but I don't see you on the thing. I don't see you in the waiting room. Appreciate that, Sean.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
you ain't kidding about it being a crazy year.
We're trying to keep it normal, man.
As normal as possible.
Let me see. Give me one second.
But the thing is, man, it ain't normal because I keep spending all this money.
Hey, man, you about to Better get the stimulus check too. Well, I don't know if we're gonna get
No,
another
we're not. Well, man, get
gonna,
out of here.
I don't know if we're gonna get another one, man.
I know we're not getting another one. Someone's gonna have to give though, because there's folks that can't pay their bills right now. So someone's gonna have to give. Like, I know they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't see y'all on the call. I only see. Give me a few seconds. I'm trying to disable the passcode. I don't know if that's gonna work. Who got the best squad, man?
Be honest. You know what's funny? Chris didn't show up. Chris might have the best squad, man.
Of course. The daggone
But I guess that's better than before, where he would show up and draft every Panther. If he just manages the team a bit, might not be bad at all.
That's not happening.
Oh man, who should I take? Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, I gotta fix the phone line. I don't know what's going on because I can't. They're saying it's 2 people on the thing, but I can't find nobody. I don't see. Oh, I know why it might be, because Dave is the host. Dave, you gotta let him in.
Can you take? You become the? Can you become the host again? How you want me to?
You gotta give it back to me, but I don't know if it's gonna let you share the screen.
Well, you can do that on your end, I think. Let me see.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah. All right, I'll let him in. There's one guy in here.
All right, there you go. Now we got it working now. Go ahead.
Now I know
what's good.
Sorry.
What's up, Shot?
Yo, what's up, man? Appreciate you calling in. Apologies for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's my fault, because this is what happens when I'm the host. See what happens?
Nah, you guys are good. I'm just hailing from Las Vegas. Doing my thing like I told y'all before. Just doing my thing like I told y'all before during the year, with this COVID crap. But getting down to business, oh my God, so much that happened. I love the Rasul Douglas pick. I've researched all about him. I mean, his measurables are insane, 6'2", 209, but I can see why now, because we got him, because Eli Apple was just put on injury reserve, and FA's back in the roster. But now we got 10 defensive linemen. Do we really need 10 defensive linemen? Something tells us there's still more adjustments coming.
Yeah, I think the FA coming back is temporary. I don't think he'll stick. I think he'll end up going back or going to the practice squad at some point. But I'm with you. I like the Rasul Douglas. Again, change of scenery helps out a lot. Again, from what I've been seeing on YouTube, or excuse me, not on YouTube, but on Twitter, is that a lot of the guys said he was solid, but he was just he was playing out of position. They were having him doing things he shouldn't be doing. I think hopefully he can have a resurgence. And again, I like this. I like picking somebody up off of waivers rather than trading away future picks. That's what I'm concerned about. So you just take a shot. I mean, there's nothing to lose for picking up a guy off waivers. You're not losing anything. So I like it.
No, for real. I mean, I just appreciate the fact we're not giving up draft picks. I mean, I know we kind of whiffed on Kenny Robinson, but who knows? Maybe that'll work out down the line. But I was also doing doing a little bit of research on Sharif Miller. He was the opposite bookend of YGM.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, they look good together, albeit it was college, but if we could find a way to get him on a rotational role, and I'm not saying he'll be a starter by any means, but if we can find a way to get him in the defensive end rotation, and maybe Weatherly's still a better talent than him, but he's cheaper. I just don't agree with 10 defensive linemen on the roster. And then we got Colin Thompson as soon as we cut him. So it makes us think. I know we don't know our identity. We've changed everything from top to bottom in the last 2 to 3 years, from owner to all the way down to the players. it's a new era in Carolina. I don't know how to treat it, but my guy. I mean, the guy I really wanted on the roster. I mean, I hate to say it, Reggie Bonifant. I mean, I think he's proven himself. That I'm not a coach, so.
I mean, with Reggie, at the end of the day, you know, it kind of just is what it is. I mean, he wouldn't have done anything between him and Mike Davis. It's a replaceable position, so I don't really think it matters. I think between him and Mike Davis, tit for tat, it's the same thing. I just don't think it really matters at the end. Running back is just such a replaceable position. It just doesn't matter who's back there. In my perspective.
But like being real, Shad, I mean that cornerback depth still looks pretty scary, and even linebackers a little bit thin. So like, I don't know if you scoured the free agency, but is there anybody out there you'd still like to maybe bring in, possibly give us a shot at? Because the offense, I'm not worried about.
Yeah, with me, man, you drafted these guys, let them go play, bro. Like, let them sink or swim, man. Again, I said it before, we're not a cornerback away from the Super Bowl. So I'm not out here trying to go and sign a free agent. I'm not out here trying to go make any drastic moves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get through the season and just keep building, because we're not a cornerback away. We've got other holes too. So just let it play out. Let these guys get that experience. Let them play, because you never know what you have. Those guys could pan out. We might have a number one corner on the roster. We don't know. So just let them play. That's just my opinion.
What's crazy? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I got you. But like, Jeremy Chin beat out everybody on the linebacker depth. That's not Tahir Whitehead and Shaq Thompson. I noticed on the week one. It's unofficial, so we don't know. But that speaks volumes right there about our depth of linebacker. I mean, Jermaine Carter's been there, and I feel like he's not going to last the season. I feel like he's going to be dropped soon. And like, I've been watching previous shows, even though I haven't called in because I've been busy. But like, I heard you out, man. You nailed it on the head. You said both of them would make it on the initial 53, but
yeah,
I say I'm right there with you, just a little bit later in the season.
No, I agree. I think they're both in trouble, especially when you look at the signs are there. You go and you see, we got 2 linebackers on the practice squad. We got all the other linebackers we have are undrafted guys. I mean, like the writing is on the wall that they don't trust this dude. They don't trust anybody on the roster from a linebacker. Jermaine Carter, Andre Smith, those guys. And quick shout out to Herney for finessing, albeit it is a 2023 seventh round conditional pick. But he did finesse Buffalo again, because Buffalo ended up cutting Andre Smith and brought him back onto the practice squad. So,
but he might have did that because it's conditional. That might have been part of that condition, so it might not have cost him anything.
I don't know. Maybe he had to make the team too, so maybe that condition wasn't met. It's a good point. But it's shout out for getting something. You know what I'm saying? Getting something is better than nothing. So
did that really count though? Because when it said conditional, that made me think that if Andre Smith was supposed to stick on the Bills' initial roster before we were able to get that 7th round,
it could.
That's ours now.
That could be the case. I don't know what the conditions are. I have no idea. But maybe the condition was that he made the initial 53, and so maybe he didn't. Maybe we didn't meet it. But I don't know. I don't know what the conditions are.
I'm about to say they cut him, so I'm thinking we may have lost that when they say conditional. I've seen that before with the offensive tackle we got before from the Lions, and they tried to get our 7th round pick, and that didn't happen to work out. But I'll tell you one guy I'm really looking at now, especially how Matt Rule's kind of molded him in a Isaiah Simmons or Jeremy Chin type role, but he's not the talent that they are. Sam Franklin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not by any means he's small for a linebacker, but he's about the size of. I mean, he's 10 pounds lighter than Chin. He could play. He's an NFL safety.
Yeah,
so that may have been the reason maybe that Kenny Robinson may have been cut.
But at the end of the day, once again, he was an undrafted free agent. So you shouldn't be getting beat out by an undrafted free agent. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't be. But at the same time, I just knew it. When you play in the XFL, I'm not knocking XFL. I mean, P.J. Walker, major respect, but XFL's XFL, and when you play in the league like that, there's more ways than one. Drafters or not, you're not going to make the roster. How many XFL players do you know that are playing right now in the NFL? I could probably count on one hand.
Well, we got PJ.
That are playing in the NFL.
PJ, that's one.
I mean, aside from PJ, I'm talking about can you count on one hand how many XFL players there are in the league?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's a rhetorical question. I don't expect you to know. But no, I'm looking out for. I'm really excited for some of the depth players. YGM. Hopefully, is YGM getting a start this weekend?
Yeah. He according to that unofficial depth chart, he is the starting, one of the starting ends. So, yeah, no, he is. He will be.
So you were just hitting the nail on the head. So what would you do? Would you restructure Weatherly's deal and try to attempt to get him to take a little bit of a pay cut next year?
What?
Or
let me look at the numbers real quick. I can tell you what I would do real quick. Let me pull up the calculator, and I'll tell you what I would do with Weatherly, because it doesn't make any sense to keep him as a mentor. The problem is that he signed a 2-year deal. Let me make sure that's 2 year. It might be a 3 year. Yeah, 2-year deal.
No, I think it was a 2 year from what I remember. I hope maybe one of those years is kind of like Teddy's 3-year deal, or like Robbie's 2-year deal. That one of the first year is front loaded, and then the second year is maybe it's not as much guaranteed money.
Yeah,
Robbie right now is making $12 million this year.
Yeah, so
next year.
Go ahead, my fault.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
So with Weatherly, if we cut him this year, it essentially adds $2 million to the cap. So that's probably why we're not cutting him. And then next year, I could see us moving. If YGM pans out, we can cut Weatherly and save $5 million.
Wow.
I can see us moving on from him next year, but this year it's not going to happen, because if we cut him, we add to the cap. So
how much would the dead cap be for next year, or is there any?
Next year the dead cap is $2 million. So that's manageable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. Kind of like the Cam situation.
Yeah, that's manageable.
How was y'all's weekend, or how y'all been doing? I mean, I haven't called in a minute. Aside from talking about Panthers, talk about the human side of things. I'm not sure if you got any other callers coming in, and hopefully y'all are doing well. And I'm trying to get on my bandwagon too, career wise, like I told y'all before.
No, we good.
I'm still working it out. Hence why I'm in Vegas.
Yeah, we good over here. So last time I think you called, you were in Carolinas, right?
I mean, I was in Carolina. I was actually in California.
Oh, California. Okay,
not the last time I called, but the last time I went anywhere to get my career straight.
Gotcha.
But trying to get back in the nursing field. Graduated 9 years ago, and trying to get my stuff together. But I've enjoyed watching you all the last 2 years, and it's been a pleasure. I mean, you guys are aside from the 4-man rush and Shelatron, you guys are my top, up there as one of my tops that I watch every week religiously.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we rock with 4-man rush. Obviously, we've had them on the show several times. They do really good work from a technical analysis standpoint. They're way far beyond what we do over here. So shout out to them for that, and then Shelatron, rock with Shelatron too. So yeah, no, I think you in good company from a listenership standpoint. So, so yeah, that's good, man. We appreciate it though. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. I think that's all I got. Unless you prefer to talk about anything else, unless you got other callers coming in.
No, I think we want to talk about the draft, right? The draft just finished, so I think we're gonna take a look at these teams real quick, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, I appreciate y'all, and big love, y'all.
All right, man. Appreciate that.
All right. So that means
yes, sir. Keep pounding.
Keep
pounding, man.
All right. Thank you.
I need to pull my screen up.
Yeah, pull that back up, Dave, and then let me put
Hold on a second. Is there a way that I can have you take over again?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to share your screen.
All right. So let me share my screen. All right, let's do this. Oh, it's all me now, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So let me share my screen real quick. Ooh, internet ain't playing. All right, there we go. So let me do a share screen. We shall do this right here. All right, I'm assuming you guys can see it.
Yep.
All right, so we'll start with my team.
Josh Allen, huh?
Josh Allen, yeah. Josh Allen, Zeke, Chris Carson, Godwin, Keenan Allen, Zach Ertz, AJ, Elite, AJ Green, Colts defense, because I knew they were playing Jacksonville week 1, Joey Sly, because I didn't care about the kicker.
Yeah, man. That's a good, solid squad.
Bench is it's questionable, but, you know, the bench matures over time.
Yeah, you can swap those dudes out.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at Pat's team. Let's see what Pat's talking about.
Let's see what Pat's talking about. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see what Pat's talking about. Train stop. He took Pat Mahomes in the first round.
It's bugging, yo.
That's Pat's squad. He got Mahomes. Yeah, his running backs is going to be left to be desired.
Yeah.
He plays me first week. Ugly in them skeets.
He got Mostert, though.
He did get Mostert. Julio Metcalf, and I'm rooting for Julio, man. He's in my other squad because I was in a draft prior to the show starting. I had a draft at 8:00 today, and my wide receivers are Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, and DJ Moore. Those are my wide receivers.
That's insane. That's tough.
And then I got Dalvin Cook at running back. So,
all right, what else? What else we got?
We got let's see. Let's pull up another squad. The champion. Tony.
He actually drafted this year, right?
Yeah, he drafted last year too.
I thought he auto drafted last year.
I don't think so.
A lot of Panthers on that joint. I can see the blue jersey.
Yeah, he got
Christian,
McCaffrey and DJ Moore.
That could be
Robbie
a nice
Anderson's on the bench.
That could be a nice. It could be good for him though.
He handcuffed this wide receiver, man.
Ty
Marlon Mack is not getting enough credit how good he probably could be this year. So that was a good pickup. Gurley's interesting. I'm not a believer in Gurley for some reason. Even though one of the leagues I won last year, Gurley was my starting running back.
Yeah, Ingram could be nice. Yeah, I like Ingram.
But the problem with Ingram is Robbins.
Yeah.
J.K. Robbins, man.
And Lamar.
But
anyway, what else we got?
We got Slim. Let's see what Slim's looking like. Where's my boy Slim Mac? The Great Muda. That's him. Big baller brand. Because he ain't changed the squad. And he got Dobbins. I think short term is going to hurt him. Long term, he'll probably be okay. Because he's got Kelsey, too. He's got Kelsey. He's got Barkley. Scary Terry, man.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, that Ruggs pick could be nice, too. Justin Jefferson, he got some guys that could pan out.
Yeah.
Bryce too. Got that little bit of that Washington backfield.
Yeah, man. I drafted Gibson in my other league, so it's Cam. He got Cam pretty.
Cam gonna be solid.
Yeah,
with Big Ben out there.
Yeah, I mean, when you want to talk about value of where you got Cam, I'd rather have Cam than where Pat took Pat, so to speak. All right, who else we got? Let's do Noli.
Teddy.
He took Teddy.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
He got Jacobs and Eckler, yo. That is problematic.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
That's problematic.
Eckler is going to have a huge season, dude.
He is, man.
Cooper Kupp, Hawkinson, Gibson. He got Gibson.
I like Gibson.
Waller. I'm starting Waller, bro.
I'm starting Waller, and he's probably going to, too. I'm kind of shocked he took Hawkinson over Waller, but he can swap Waller out. It's easy.
Nikhil, sorry, Harry. He could be
Tony Pollard. If Cam slings it to him. All right. We got, let's see.
Eddie, look at Eddie's team.
Look at Eddie.
Collar.
He got the this
Derrick
is,
Henry.
No, this
This could be a problem. Yeah, that could be a problem, yo.
This is problematic.
Yeah.
And
AJ Brown. Yeah, that could be a problem.
This is problematic.
Yeah, I like his squad. Evan Ingram, I'm not so sure about him, but
I like Evan, man.
And that nigga, he can't stay healthy, man.
But he'll get his.
He can't stay healthy. Latavius could be a sneaky good one too if Kamara can't stay healthy.
Yeah. He's got Doyle on the bench.
I'm cool on them. But yeah, I like that squad. All right,
what's up with Marcus?
I don't know about Le'Veon Bell, but I think the Jets are gonna be trash.
Well, I took.
But everybody else, his squad is gonna be nice. He got a tough squad.
Yeah. This is Marcus.
Dak,
Dalvin, Cam Akers, Kittle.
That's tough.
And Montgomery. If Montgomery,
he's hurt right now. Ain't he? Yeah,
but he's probably gonna play. Kareem Hunt's on the bench, and he got Tom Brady on the bench.
I like Mims. I like Mims a lot. Could break out. Yeah, I like Eddie's squad so far.
Yeah, Eddie's got a good team. All right, let's
go to Jared's
Jared.
Team. See what Jared's talking about.
Jared's running backs are not I'm not a believer, but he got Thomas and Tyreek. See, that's gonna run. That's gonna
be a problem.
That's gonna run his team.
That's gonna be a problem. And Chark too. Chark, if he a lot of garbage yards.
Yo, garbage yards and still yards in fantasy, my man.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I ain't Debo. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts in Indianapolis.
I mean, man, Marlon Mack has been disrespected pretty bad. I think Mack is gonna probably still end up being the guy, but we'll see. All right, let's see. I think the only ones left out of 3 that didn't show up. Chris probably got a good squad because he ain't drafted.
Yeah.
See, his squad ain't bad.
It's all right.
It's competitive.
Nah. He ain't gonna manage it and it's gonna become trash.
Yeah,
you gotta manage
what's the bye weeks looking like? Well,
the computer drafting avoids all the buys for him. All that comes into account.
Well, after week 5, he's got to manage some unless somebody gets hurt. Because that's when the buys start showing up for him in week 6. All right, who else we got? More life.
Better hope I don't get the fantasy itch and take over his squad. I don't think that's gonna happen though. Because I haven't done any. I would have been doing all my studying and I haven't done any of that, so I'm washed from a fantasy perspective.
Well, the thing is, I haven't done nearly as much as I normally would do. The pandemic, man, knocked me off a bit. But I got to start prepping for fantasy week for daily. I got to start prepping tomorrow. After work, I'm gonna get a little hardcore and get my squads ready for tomorrow, for the next week. Debate if I want to play some of the Thursday night opener, the one game opener type of thing. I'm debating it. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, so this is more life.
All right.
I think that's it. Is there any more teams I missed? I don't think I missed anybody. Oh. Did I do the Claymores?
Yeah, he in here. Perk Panther, he's in here too. Lamar. Chubb.
I keep forgetting that Stephon Diggs went to Buffalo, man.
Diggs went to Buffalo. Ridley, Parker. Ooh, Fournette could be a problem.
If he takes the role entirely.
Yeah, it would be a couple weeks before he get out there for sure.
Yeah.
He got the whole San Francisco backfield, B.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
No, I meant not the backfield. But he got a lot of 2 49s. Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2. We got the kicker,
Curtis. All right, is that gonna
We're gonna wrap it up. That's everybody. That's everybody.
1 second. Get back to the other screen. All right, man. listen, next week we going live. We going live. We gonna handle this business. Should be fun. It should be fun. Can't wait. The drinks are gonna be flowing for sure. You gotta get the. Oh yeah. Dang, Dave, you can't get the beer counter going. Forgot about that.
I can't. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Dave.
I know. I asked,
don't do it.
I asked my nutritionist. She said, "You can drink, but you just don't go anywhere." That's the thing.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna get drunk off of one drink.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't have carbon, so beer's eliminated. Beer has left the chat.
Well, that's a good thing.
It'll be wine and but it's been 3 months since the surgery, so I'll probably hold off. I probably won't.
Yeah,
I probably won't.
Yeah, but we are
wait.
Yeah, we are definitely going live for the game for sure. I cannot wait to give my raw and uncut opinion live straight off the rip. And listen, man, I'm gonna be cool though. Like I'm just like last year, yo. No expectations. If we get a dub, we get a dub. If not, I'm just gonna be analyzing it from that perspective. Like, listen, this is what we gotta work on. These are the gaps we got, and just take into account for next year. Listen, this is good. This is gonna take some time. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So I have zero expectations. I don't expect us to go out there and win. So, you know,
have faith.
Yeah, let's just go out there. And I think a lot of the game hinges on, you know, Derek Carr. Can we get Derek Carr rattled? Put the ball. If we can stop the run, put the ball in his hands, make him work. I think we'll be fine. Just as long as our secondary steps up just a little bit. We'll see what happens, man. But I expect Carr to have about good 350, a good 350 on us.
350.
350 on us.
Yeah, I'm debating, man. I might do a Panthers Raiders stack in a tournament. I'm debating it, man. I think, I gotta check the over unders for all the other teams. If our joint's kind of on the low end, it probably isn't. 47 is pretty high, actually. But if it's low, I'm gonna be like, yeah, let me go ahead and stack this game up real quick.
Yeah.
See how I can do it.
The Vegas Stadium is open too. I was watching some coverage of them, and the Vegas Stadium is open. It's pretty nice too. Got to check that joint out when I go back. I went out there a few times while they were building it. It looks nice. Nah, the game is here. It's in Charlotte. It's at home.
All right.
With no fans.
We just got the 10-minute warning.
It's about time for us to get out of here. So, but yeah, man, looking forward to the game. We going live, so stay tuned and look out for that. And should be fun. Should be fun. All right. Anything else, Dave, before we close this thing now?
Nah, man. Can you run the outro?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you for listening to the Panther Nation podcast hosted by Rashad and David. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you are notified when new episodes are posted. You can also catch episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Podcast Addict. Review and rate this episode 5 stars and share it with all the Panther fans you know. And always remember, keep pounding.
All right, people, man. Keep pounding. We'll see y'all on Sunday, and we finally got football, man. Finally got football. Let's get after it. And low expectations, everybody. All right. That being said, peace out. See y'all on Sunday. All right.